bi won so a ono an dwuma bi oye wo bi a kuro a wo mu a odi call South Africa no eno na okwakoy na just say or build upon the career na just say moving from one place to another na enkenye bone na South Africa for no yenke bi nhemu ena omo sha sa dia si way back in time na wo hwe a eno nipa ne bebre ka se edum pempen so abrofo no a omo kire so mbesisi omo ede omo fa kodanda ne ohaw mu no awo de omo ntumi nkoho na ye hu bibifo yi ena South Africa for ma omo de emra ashom nsem na illegal for a citizen to go after obia otiu memu a se otim na so ni inkrata na opese mra ye ne djuma ye wo immigration any border ebe take that refuge no na nye wo a wo yetimemu ni ena wo de mra ne be hye wonsem na wotumi di sa nyambrasem na gese won ai won adwen se Africa for eti ho no titu Ghana for Nigeria for inkro bebre eno ho nsem ene nsem ekokoso na they are currently up in arms demonstrating and demanding that other African nationals are in their country illegally leave because they are stealing jobs meant for the people. Now, these protests have resulted in confrontations with foreign nationals, mostly from African countries, including Ghanaian and Nigerians, who are often brutalized and have their businesses either closed or vandalized by the protesters. The protests have also been captured, driving out foreign nationals from South African Republic schools and health facilities. Leaders across the African continent have widely condemned the attack on other African nations, describing them as either xenophobic or Afrophobia. But who is behind this protest, which have also happened almost every year for the past decade, and how did they start? These current protests are organized by anti-illegal immigrant group called March on March, which was established by South African media personality and social activist Jacinta Ngobese Zuma, a 39-year-old mother. Jacinta Ngobese Zuma is a radio presenter based in Durban and is the best known for hosting the cruise on Vuma FM. She is reported to have worked at multiple radio stations in South Africa, including Vibe FM, Inanda FM, Gagasi FM. In 2020, she won the Best Female Radio Presenter Award in KZN Entertainment Awards. And she was the crusader of the march, galvanizing people to go after people who are non-residents. And the Ngobese Zuma established March on March in 2024 to bring some spotlight to the issue of illegal immigration in South Africa and also demand that some citizens be prioritized in health and public services. Now, the group is currently advocating for enhanced border control measures, stricter enforcement of immigration regulations in South Africa, which is to say, to protect national security and ensure fair resource allocation. It is also fighting for policies that prioritize South African citizens in job market and ensure fair employment opportunities without unfair competition and undocumented workers. It is also campaigning to ensure public service, healthcare, education, and social benefits are accessible to South African citizens without being strained by undocumented migrations. In a recent interview, Ngobese Zuma refuted assertions that the action of a movement amount to xenophobia and Afrophobia. She accused foreign nationals of being responsible for the high rate of crime in South Africa, adding that they are also serving as cheap labor and taking over jobs that are meant for the people of South Africa. We are coming under attack from all across Africa for standing up for ourselves, and that the quickest thing that they do these other people from outside of South Africa is also labeled as xenophobia. You know, people who are not even in South Africa, who don't even know what we are going through. They don't want to listen to what we are doing. And the lady in question, one of the radio presenters in South Africa, in 2024, she used the medium to galvanize people in South Africa, especially the youth and the people who think they are being treated unfairly by the standards, people who have migrated from their country to South Africa to seek greener pasture, working and staying and making sure they make a living in South Africa. And Gofusi Debida, na ebi owa na your health care, any education, any benefit kakre benyano, almost on babe. So we are not going to allow that to happen. So this lady took upon herself, made that pronouncement and that crusade to galvanize people, to have a bunch of people to make sure they will scandalize people who have also migrated to South Africa. Now we'll listen to the lady in a quick action. Now, Yasana to us, because it's a matter of concern where immigration will take the task, not civilians or the citizens who have every legitimate right to report to the immigration officers that we think this is a forum. We want to advocate to you and make sure you do your work diligently. Anybody who is not subject to live in this country, that person cannot take a refuge in this country. So the person should be repatriated rather than taking the law into your hands to brutalize people, because it is a crime against humanity. That is the criminal act. Now,
let's kick things off with you. That march is just about set to begin.
Yes, it is, Michelle, just about to begin, but it's important to note that there are a lot of countries that are watching it quite closely. You look at Nigeria, as well as Tanzania, as well as Ghana, some of the countries that have been watching quite closely what is taking place here. If you look at the U.S. as well, they've complained and they've spoken about the fact that they strongly condemn these criminal acts perpetrated by individuals inciting violence and potentially exploiting socio-economical conditions. So we are, of course, watching it quite closely as well to understand what is it that is being taken to the union buildings. And of course, we are joined by the March in March founder, and we're just going to listen in as she speaks.
Make sure that the government is held accountable for putting us in the situation that we're in. I mean, South Africa at the moment is a fertile ground for criminals from all over the world, not just in South Africa. And we can't have a situation where we feel safe and unsafe in our own country and our government relaxes and thinks that it's a normal time just because they want to appease the rest of the world and look good to God knows who. That they want to look good too, because we know we're not the ones that are sitting in high walls with blue lights and living a comfortable life. They are. So we are not going to be comfortable in this life that we're living anymore, and we're going to take a stand, as we had mentioned before, because illegal immigration has caused such a huge problem for many South Africans in this country.
What's your message to the minister? He's going to be briefing the media later on this afternoon. You've also received a lot of criticism around the fact that it seems that this movement is xenophobic.
So which minister is briefing the media?
Schreider, the Home Affairs Minister.
Look, I think we've spoken enough with the Home Affairs Department. We've got many and plenty of engagements with them. And I mean, I don't expect anyone who's criticizing us to be sitting at home and not doing anything. If they're going to be criticizing South Africans, then they must do something about the South Africans that are dying from spaza shop killings, where the mafia now wants to take over Ethiopians and Pakistanis. If they're criticizing us, then they must be willing to do something about the South African children that are dying because of food that is consumed at these spaza shops. If they're criticizing us, they need to be doing something about the people dying in hospitals because there's no beds and there's no medication, because people from all across the African continent are coming here and walking in and demanding services. They must also do something about the South African children who don't have a spot in schools. And they must also do something about the many factories and places that are hiring illegal immigrants for cheap labor instead of hiring South Africans, and all of this money and the economy that's going to the hands of foreigners instead of South Africans. So if they want to criticize us, fair, but do it while you're doing something as well about the crisis that we're facing.
So what do you make of what Guterres has been saying?
What's happening, and how they should perhaps join the movement?
South Africans. Look, I think South Africans who want to be part of the movement, who understand the pain that we're going through, are actually joining. They're making their voices heard. I mean, we're coming under attack from all across Africa for standing up for ourselves. And the quickest thing that they do, these other people from outside of South Africa, is to label us as xenophobic. People who are not even in South Africa, who don't even know what we're going through, they don't want to listen to what we're complaining about. Because, we've lived with people from outside of Africa, South Africa actually, for 32 years. 32 years, in millions and millions of them. But if you walk right down the road, you'll find that they now are taking over buildings. There's prostitution, there's drugs, there's cartels, there's mafias. Everything in this country is a fertile ground for criminals to thrive. So we're not getting the best of the best when it comes to immigrants. We're getting those immigrants who are running away from their countries because they know that they are criminal elements. And our government is just letting them be because they want to paint them as victims. They're not victims.
Cinda, how are you determining that these are illegal foreigners? Because, we know that already last week, General Mkhwanazi did say that there needs to be a way to verify, but how do you verify?
Well, it's not our job to verify, but when we're marching, when we're doing operations, there's always the police. It's their job to ask people for their papers, and if they don't have papers, then obviously they're illegal. And we've had a number of people, every single place that we go that is a hub for foreigners, there's tons of illegal. Very few of these people are documented, actually. Very, very few. And the ones that are documented are not behaving and carrying themselves in this manner that these that are not documented are. And that is the problem that we have today, is that everyone is being grouped with the same type of banner. When we talk about illegal immigrants, nobody wants to hear the parts about illegal. You all just want to say foreigners and xenophobia and whatnot. We are talking about people who crossed the border or who flew here with no documents and then started building a life for themselves. We don't know these people. We don't know their background. We don't know what type of crimes they're running away from in their country. But we're supposed to just integrate with those people and life must carry on, because if we don't, then we're xenophobic. There's nothing xenophobic about wanting law and order in your own country. And this thing of calling us xenophobic is not going to work anymore, unfortunately, because we don't care what you label us. We really don't care. Call us whatever you want to call us, but South Africa is not going to die at the extent of people trying to tell us what to do in our own country to make sure that it's surviving and it thrives for the future of this country.
So what do you make then of the criticism that you're only targeting?
All right, Inti, one of the radio presenter, organizing Nipanibi, and so Pam for South Africa, a molestiomono, or no, and Ocase or say, and ye and a betchomo, send no moon run your country in fact. Na and semno eguso, Obekaya and saying South Africa, Penyufoni be and so your manuatum. Na I say, a mwache, there's a division in the xenophobic attack. People who are opposing say it is not right because under human rights law, no. Your friend be infringement of obini right. Will be better krum na se. Ufi someone famra kwanso and a better kruma. And ranu wo na wetumi ayusu mrano. But I say one kasamu say a kwanya man for baha ho hu bahai. No mo babaji ekura fa no mo babaji healthcare ni education ni ye benefit kakra nyane nyama kakra na wa ha no. Yempene emobim embetinim. Ntia no ho nsem enso wo. Yabeko enim na ato adwede nso anope sa asemi enya asem ebae no yehu se the Ghana ambassador to South Africa or say bibia nsie na obi ahun touchma but wo hwe nsem na ekona a running issue a South Africa for no say ye de nyama di agra enyama nsem beha e Ghana for ni Nigeria for because in there it is a Nigeria for me bi efri mu because a man for no hwe dan bi e ho na so mu hu se before no bibi na African countries nipa ni bi na ebo ma na amabo ewra ho akwakoye nyedoa e ho nte ya sema esi kan yie ye mfa nye nofo na anye se agro bi na edi nye sa na ya nipa ni bebre wo ho no bebre ho beka eno ho nsem anopai e beko enim na ato adwede nso anopai na ya bonitew ho digital online UK na wutie yɛnkɔ ne yɛntie nsɛm no bi na yɛnhwɛ anɔpɛ.
Yɛtɛnhwɛ no yɛsi yɛnyɛ monyɛ no fi ahemachi be tu okro kwa mode ne ba hospital ho mama na beda ho amade ache ama na samo tray ni nyina na obusu da ho a wo bre baabi a first na okọ ne nsuo ni guru so ne ho kwan mie e no mo se saa de ho ye nye operation ti no ye mfa ne mra kasie mu tikasi mu ede na koroma saa de da to amade ache ade ache man sa anye na ma na bo be 3 4 mu ansa na mu gine akwara na ye mra wie no afen matam no so wonko chemo wa ye mra.
All right. Yedbesia, but yebeba ne mo abedin komo in person. Sabre with ye. No amount of words. The Becca Serade and Kabushia komo and two on yem. So we'll be there near din komo. Why?
That's true.
The news, the interviews, and what have you, all packed and ready to go on your favorite radio station, Hot Digital Online.
To admit so and different poor man so and yet in canopy. And some back me no so won't go akrat and one pay or say not enough being done to fight Galamsey. Na so for pong our known and so adding some ya to Jack and saying Bakaya see you our da free zones I know Mama Mary. You will see some of Kokaya for so for Pong out the Pentecost chairman, Safunyamiche, and some of kind say, Nancy Webosua, na in Shonu aye Huja, Nagase, Galamsey, Ajin Sonafa, na a idea of how or kind my many so a moke can sem, Imiche Bay and Simbubruja. Now, President of the Ghana Catholic Bishop Conference, I am Most Reverend Frank Matthew Kwesi Jemfi. And so I call for a tougher and more decisive measure to tackle illegal mining, popularly known as Galamsey, warning that the current efforts are inadequate. Like I say, kuna ye kuno en sweni, like I say, swakra enyadia modu iswa. Enti one asasi redu ni din komo na Reverend Jimfi described Galamsey as a growing national crisis that continues to threaten livelihoods, water bodies, forests, and the country's environmental sustainability. He said government must move beyond existing interventions and adopt a more aggressive national response to address the menace. The leadership of the country must do something more radical. What is being done now is not enough. And he also made his assertions. According to him, the scale of destruction caused by illegal mining demands an emergency-style response, similar to measures adopted during the COVID-19 pandemic, when the state mobilized significant resources to contain the outbreak. We should treat this as a state of emergency and bring together all resources, military, police, economic, to address it. Reverend Jemfi also acknowledged that the authorities have made some effort to combat Galamsey, but stressed that progress remains too slow compared to the rates at which illegal mining activities are expanding. We may reduce it by 10%, but increase by 20%. It is like a storm in a teacup. Like I say, you reduce na bafon kakra, but wonga etu. A former good year on from Rakwansono, like I say, a cost. He further also argued that a public education and awareness campaign led by churches, civil societies, organizations, and other stakeholders, although important, cannot by themselves solve the problem. Persuasion is not enough. The state must act decisively to stop people from destroying our nation. Reverend Frank Jemfi, ono ena odi nsem na tudwa Matthew Kwesi Jemfi edi nsem na tudwa na wa bono tofa waka na poso se entokwa a yekun efa galamsey hu no enye enough nti ono de ofu se aban no betumi aye dodo na yakoyenim na woma onfa radical steps embra police for soldier for bia ye include bia na ye make sure se won a etu asase a wontu no kwan papa so no ye betu na ase sa eno na revenue do so bia no enka na no ntum and the ombeko so aka. Now inside the details of Ghana rejection of the US health aid deal. Now saying yet ya na say US for MIA-ADB titru efa ya pomuden ho nsebsem ho na they demand setting requisite. Yen kind report no say on April 28, 2026 was reported that Ghana had rejected a proposed bilateral health deal with the United States. Now, citing unhealthy concerns about the terms and conditions, according to the report, a highly placed source with knowledge of the matter confirmed that Ghana declined the deal primarily because of the condition attached to it. The sources indicated that government could not agree to share information as sensitive as the health data of its citizens with a foreign nation, raising concern about the privacy and long-term control. Now, here are some of the alleged inside details of the terms according to what a source says. Or say, the proposed agreement, the issue on Ghana share health records with the United States for a period of 25 years, even though the aid program itself was designed to last only 5 years. This disparity is said to have raised concerns about the long-term implication of such an arrangement. The Memorandum of Understanding also reportedly included provisions that will allow drugs approved by U.S. Food and Drugs Administration to enter the Ghanaian market without undergoing the country's standard approval process. And this will effectively sideline Ghana Food and Drugs Authority, potentially weakening the local regulatory oversight. Moreover, while the United States pledged $109 million over 5 years, that commitment was subjected to the availability of foods and approval by Congress. Ghana, on the other hand, was required to commit $70 million in counterpart funding over the same period, and this obligation was binding. Furthermore, the agreement is said to have also granted the United States broad discretion over now and shared data could be used, including the possibility of making it available to American pharmaceutical companies for research, product development, and other commercial purposes. In addition, in November last year, 2025, the U.S. charged the affairs reportedly presented Ghana Ministry of Health with a Memorandum of Understanding MOU, which has been drafted unilaterally by the U.S. and requested that it is signed within 1 week. However, the United States has also disbursed about $219 million in foreign assistance to Ghana in 2024, including $96 million earmarked for health programs, according to official foreign aid data. Taking together the reported details that suggest that Ghana's decision was largely influenced by concerns over data protection regulatory authority, financial commitment, and overall structure of the agreement. The agreement has parted company because in 2024 there was aid na obeka US for your new that unilateral decision. Say, you come into that obligation when we go into a contract, especially when they want to give us aid. The other something to share. AIDS and answer HIV area ni adie nano. They have sika mo de mayen oko north up north. Nipa ni be dropped. Be o ne come ni adie into they present most of these things to us. Now they requested for a data of our health data. The issue of pharmaceutical companies in America wanted a situation where most of own drugs will invade into our market without going through the right process. And as I said, the requisite process from the Food and Drugs Authority. Now, they sat with the government with a memorandum of understanding. Said, this is how I negotiations, into yang, the memo says, na yamau support for health. Na yenya data of one kwa ayaresa ni adi na ni ehu yare titiwa na ye nipa no. So that was the requisite. But the government also refused that call. Say nya di obetiasie. So that is the issue on board. So the proposed agreement required Ghana to share health records with the United States for a period of 25 years. That is why the government says we are not going to do that. And so the page and pay quickly we acknowledge our proud sponsors. Near to a grade and some will and pay.
Yendimpefe sa Phoebe sign and a Phoebe asuni mwase na ya Unity Link die wo hia ye wo da ya koma pono so and into the year kase yendimpasa COVID-19 ne de wa fem abra wo hia boafo ni nie enepa ho ada bembiem ye de ni jesam na nam Unity Link say link up download the Unity Link app no na send the sika free ye purchase free kululu bi ani ba bia send the sika ko Ghana abra wuntua dama download na use code way zero fees na no wo son for pa Unity Link abayo kama abra wo mwa chire kabia wo because of baby before bi ama wa boa wa dada sikamani am champion de no ani Unity Link ema wen fa akọ ho download the Unity Link app no na link up.
Ending legal battles? It's time to claim a legacy that truly belongs to you. Welcome to Rehoboth Havens, where we simplify the journey to home ownership for Ghanaians, whether you are at home or abroad. Located in the Tranke Hills of Ayimensa Damfa, our community offers stunning vistas of the Pediasin Ebri Mountains. Experience peace of mind in our secure, gated community, thoughtfully designed for your comfort amidst beautifully landscaped surroundings and premium recreational spaces. At Rehoboth Social Housing, we are here to turn your dreams into reality. With just 30% deposit, move into one of our ready-to-occupy homes today. We will extend your remaining balance over 5 years, providing the flexibility and assurance your family deserves. Choose from our modern 2-bedroom homes, the luxurious 3-bedroom Sunbay, or our spacious 4-bedroom detached residences. Starting at just 675,000 Ghana cedis, your dream of home ownership is finally within reach. Don't wait any longer. Call us today at +233 55 375 1933 or +44 7917 376631. Rehoboth Social Housing. Your housing dream becomes reality.
AJN and Co Limited. Wow! Quality accounting and tax services, and now officially recognized as one of the top 200 UK accountants in the 2016 Sunday Times list. Hooray! Come, let's do business and even save you more money. AJN and Co Limited. We are chartered certified accountants and business advisors, one of the finest in the country, with quality professional services and excellent customer delivery. Our services include preparation of company and annual accounts, bookkeeping, self-assessment, payroll services, preparation of charity accounts, gift aid claim, tax planning, tax returns, business plans and advice, company registration, preparation of budgets, all kinds of mortgages and remortgaging. And now Now, we are one-stop shop to arrange protection for general insurance, life cover, medical and health insurance, and income protection. We mean business. That is why we are now officially one of the top 200 accountants in the country. Papa. Yamaya budinya echese yadwuma so eni. Enti bra, na yenya o tax returns ene wadwuma ho sikasem nyina ema. Na yebeboa wo amu nya mortgage. Na ya insurance nhyehyeye a efata wo wadwuma ene wabusue nyina. So big companies, small businesses, charities, sole traders, self-employed, shops and restaurants. Please call Let's Do Business on 0163 447 0495. That's 0163 447 0495 or 0788 307 7742. Our address is AJN and Co Limited, Equitable House, 10 Woolwich New Road, London, SE18 6AB. Visit www.ajnandco.co.uk. Now officially a Sunday Times Top 200 accounting company.
Unsupported Dr. Baumia. And 24 only Dr. Baumia really run in you say, wow, you so in I benefit with your own so. Omuye Kukudam, Oma departed for so many years. And they humbly cry away say, with JMP party into our consultation for him, with all the sacrifices that they've made to this party. Dr. Edichum, Cobre Japan, Dr. Brana Champo, Honorable Kennedy Japan. The level of investment of when making there's no way they will leave this party. You know, there's no way they will leave this party. They haven't also ever said it anywhere for us to even be having a conversation as to whether Oma Jones or Bada did. Dr. Bamu Bamiani or engagement has nothing to do with whether Omubeba said Omomba. It has everything to do with planning and plotting to remove this clueless NDC party from government.
Okay, now say no me ko saying dog a woman man I say o two coin.
Oh how?
Oh okay. Okay. It's say mo go gusu a o to no ama.
Since there a lot of engagements na
especially in the running mate to crowd be pound no.
So the be any ndu ho and they say we bet me in August 2028 kra.
Oh sir.
And they say last minute there.
But I am running mate here last minute and yeah, men no more nyadwin because o pound and tema and everyone wa compliment a war candidate no and to abobia no akoye yes you nim say candidate ni phone and then that's there but running mate no so no won sorry prekope pound keke or the bb ba table no so na obeba na aduane na amin here na organize
the running mates, so only balance of panel.
And one of me can't but
we are going to about my running mate. Running mates will be running mates for BBR. Running mates, you know, a war former or Mampinina, a powder. You know, the assembly how you know Mampinino. A coya on the ending. Uncle year on the ending. The honorable powder, which me a board of money, you know, one assembly. But pass it, you say. The dream running mate there. I'm very sure you will be.
Okay, all right. Na young kwai ya kwa fuom. Ko kuafo say World Bank say we ase adwaman so no koko kra so esan beti biemo. Be yo hamu nchichemu eduonum 50%. Eba na sana Ghana ye bisa se ne ye ne den. Iti obi beka say na che say nyo obi na ahye da say on fa kokoku ani sika esefata bi ma no ujutum
okay we dey me the minimum say we run a business and our organization we do ma anything we make sure say the business will survive no matter the business environment no wa see adebia we making sure the business let us survive essa way. I see a cocoa, no. Say no see a product a money at all. A business or money running. na yɛde no ɛhyehyɛ yɛn ho but yɛka sɛ yɛde foko no ɛbɛto autopilot na yɛde ɛka ne sɛ yɛde yɛwɔ Ghana yɛbɛkɔ so wɔ amansan dwa so na ɛyɛ asɛm sɛ sisi bi ɛbɛyɛ ne saa cocoa sector na bɛgu sɛ saa na aban a abɛtwe mu yɛ na anka aban wei ama mɛto cocoa sector because there has never been a time a you can say cocoa sector no aye how do you say akototin ya or how be any international market but at all times government upon government would have to adjust and make sure say all the mechanisms are a bit saving sector no will put in place. 2017 about MPP about 2017 Teresa cocoa price, it was dropped by 38%. 38%. It was dropped by 38%. But the MPP government did not go and say, you are dropping Teresa market price by 38%. You take cocoa price and so on. Remember?
No, for 3 consecutive times, one month, never be one. I'm
2017, almost 38%. But you are so. So I just say, so.
No, not making.
Because yes, cocoa also a Teresa market. Now say, and maybe I'll bet so to say, and ye can once a year. Now they said 2022, so yes, so. By your friend Asanka, what the government did was to ensure that this saving sector, by ensuring that the cocoa farmer is not demotivated from cultivating cocoa. You understand?
Intina say no enye ewiase adwaman no so na say yehwe but ete say aban no ye nhyehyeye a saa enteso na beba no affect cocoa farmer zana wo tre.
You see baby and the cocoa price about bedu about cocoa farmer no. Mark, the cocoa farmer's cost of producing the cocoa versus the sika onyano kamia kwa to say one have bebrina obeja cocoa edwuma na kwa edwuma for. The biggest question we should ask ourselves is if government should translate this impending 50% drop in international market price directly to the cocoa farmer and say market price are dropping by 50%. Internally, yes, we are the money you bet by 50%. Directly, I can tell you that our cocoa farmers will cut down their cocoa farm for other products. This impending 50%. The cost of producing cocoa require all to them. It won't be his motivation. And if that happens, what will happen to the economy of this country? Albino has to quickly come up with creative ways that you never holding down the cocoa farmer in this very difficult moment, so that the cocoa farmer is not demotivated to say, I didn't know we are for so be any so. We will suffer as a country, not the cocoa farmer. Because cocoa farmer will turn the cocoa to Gua. Obet to tomatoes, obet to pepper, obet to do bro, Kakaba corner no. By my way, Niti the fatum. Nibibia and cocoa, and we cannot afford to see that sector go down. That is all I am saying. At this juncture, it is very difficult because the numbers are not in yet. It is difficult for you to really analyze based on the numbers. But the philosophy of buying way more, say that's why I better so. A cost where I and I may make one say that buying way the no year our sector will collapse.
All right. Ebra moko wa mo nine so no realities ben na mo face ye free cocoa akuafo yo.
Almost some na say gedi kan aban no list kakra cocoa no obedi kan ato aba aban no aban no betu aka enti efi October 2025 ebepem ebe no majority of cocoa farmers obedi of cocoa beans ama aban no aban to be into your kaye. It is kakra obedi beti your mobile school fees edidi kra ampodo omunya eno ya one. Number 2, Almost say cocoa now, almost channel. Almost this one, young farmer buying. I don't know, almost table them and cafe, no more come buying. Almost the quiet. Cocoa can't support almost because almost here, almost just can't finish your account. Almost just can't your account. Almost now, cocoa for if you are for the better. In the cafe mark, the cocoa farmers, they have no buyer for cocoa no way trade with them. And like I cannot want buying so I'm buying to meet your maca since October 2025. I'm going to mean that kind of supply a day. And here a car on the day. I'm the laborers car, I'm the skin here. I'm over free me a shame senka, I'm trap of poor. No, come up to your car. I'm to meet your maca on the day, and they are there on maca. I'm the school maca. I'm just can't finish here. These are the realities. And so they are beginning to ask themselves, I dear year, cost why I'm asking you guys. Because they are really here, a bit in a combating, and that is what the situation is. A very serious matter. Because we are talking about directly about 800,000 people now. They are involved in the cocoa farming. What do you have dependents? Three, kakakraka woman. What is the cocoa we have to do or you don't find first? But the three. That's 2.4 million Ghanaians. You know, we are affected by the cocoa farm situation. And see, that is how dire and how bad the situation is at the moment for us.
Wow. I just say, I say cocoa, we are yono, pay their work and ni future biao. Say, a becon say ya.
Say, I buy bit to be a son. Second, say the sector will collapse, and there's no doubt about that. But the government can change that. If government decides to privatize the cocoa sector, they can change that. They can change that.
Ayana baby, who said the air can say about bet master Sunday in sika some the air can. It's baby a buying bet to many sika to media saw a queer for ya sene a bra world market a bono ayasano one soon aqua some.
But government always has a way to prioritize the things that are important to them. And see, say, Menoka say, I'm buying a year maybe in millions of dollars because that's a priority to the government. In the same way, if the government decides to privatize the cocoa farmer, I'm sure they'll be able to handle it. I'm very, very sure about it.
All right. Yeah, better dia abano beye edia fa ho. Na ihe ye hu dia be kona said the keka koni dia. And you know the challenge bi edia kwa kokoba. Na major wa koi so far wo hwe eye ye nyina mankane ahoden said dia eko. Enra na me ne kwabena kura discuss na me say it seems a managing director a former managing director ECG Jumakum, a brand of Moa Bemono. And he was painting the real picture. So, what holding in our crown, hui. Say, and no maybe a sense, ye be near dear Coso, and yes, sir. Regardless of a buyer or was one, or mind bit to my crown hear him. Transmission lines don't say, are you weak? Iti metiache na mbisam say no wa bind that them now we painting this picture and I said these realities e dia more mine no iti se ba ne sana obi bisa say so obi betimi de ye nka ne adundum na how e dia bo ye aban oteso ade ana yenim say no ma bi wo ho aya anya e de oha bebre e bribi atwam
Max pepe. The question is so this I want to say. Eba ne say na ono dubit. Owa abamu na oye CBF di no. Sa issues ni na wo. And so yanko ahunyenye aye wo mu say wo sisi. Na we mu de omo ba ya yenya sa problem. That's the biggest question. So there's a difference. The difference is all about leadership and strategy. Because transmission lines, transformers, cables, and you're going concern. You're reader. They be because what to say in abuse say. Then be now upgraded. But that does not mean say it should push the entire country into darkness. It is not true. Say transformer, say transmission lines are here to say so. It's not true. I am not correct.
Maybe
some question. Tell them transformer.
Oh, minimum transformer. ECG transformer. They say.
Tell them transformer a step down. A step down. Okay. So who's a step down? Who is that transformer? A localized. And to say.
What can say a localized? Said yeah. To say BC Midan Yachiana.
Ship house. Abeka Junction.
Yeah.
More transformer be provided. Power no more kakedi.
Yes. That's correct.
More transformer no. You can go to fuse in the free one. More open a light in the bedroom. In fact, Oba Tessa do Papa ye sidewalk car. Every other light any day. Because of more different transformer. The more. It's a banner saying, and on my way, you want 20,000, about 20,000 transformers. Most transformers 3,000. Transformers no come over to you. And here this about when the transformers to you. MPT about the transformers as part of the maintenance program. Let me put that on record.
And yet entirely true. Because I remember one also procure transformers in the bit.
It's not true. I buy wind talk transformer the please.
Wait.
I buy wind talk. Let them show you the transformer one contract. I'm telling you, there are 3,000 trucks.
They said because there is a document I'm person be pulling and
I will share with you the document for the procurement of the 3,000 transformers your Boko installed. This government has not bought any transformer. And I said, do big as Okasasokai. Now, that's not kind of offer. Now, transformer, they want fair. He said it. These are transformers they came to inherit. He said it. This government has not bought any transformer. The transformer they are installing, a transformer is MPP are buying to go. I never made changes that. That is the fact. Mami, moving on to the substantive matter. Now, over 3,000 transformers out of 20,000 transformers in a localized. A ban is saying, and at 3,000 transformers are best. Sabi, Unyan Semu, what's around of power? What the 3,000 in a at a go, I don't see a man in you doing a career. Maybe I'm a still my transformer, I have 50 meters away from my house. ECG for Emma say almost about the transformer. It's a mini light. I didn't mini light because transformer, what's that transformer? Ewa Beka Junction. It does not affect Omomote cantonment. What's that transformer? Ewa Madina. It does not affect Omomote Ebri. It's your density. And the entire country, go through energy crisis because what's that transformer? In any case, what we do can no past 6. No one saw the Jumet 6. About 1 a.m. no one say do no. No one saw the 3 a.m. No one say do the 5 a.m. Start 3 a.m., 1 a.m., 5 a.m. Engineers no that transformer now. So clearly, the abandoned culture said transformer no also. It's in an awkward to do far. Mark, sabi. It is a mumbu yensi in Nansa. Because it is not the transformer change. So what's that transformer power? That's a nunti and a old doom far. Mark, I didn't think that was one of power. Okosa 3,000 at the same time. So I make a crack. And now what's that way with the no one do one more cania. It's open on Benya doom so. 2-3 days. What's the transformer every year? It's on Munya doom so beam. Because I'm transformer here, so no one could be before. No one could almost over the other moment. Almost only do so beam because I'm transformer here, so. But why do we have the entire country in an energy crisis if it is all about transformer? Number 2, Omokuso Omuye, we do so yana, we're so by. If I'm saying, Akosomo Ejato, I've heard, Akosomo Ejato in Tina, you have 40,000 megawatts of power. Anything they didn't do so. And Omo the catcher and say Akosomono. Omo the 4 lines in the upstream until resolved.
Yes, 6 units. Now one day you move 4.
Power generation now one after Akosomo 4 number up was still lesser than power generation that one a day before. The truth of the matter, they say we are in the doomsday crisis because of gas. gas. Generators this is your power plants this is your fuel lady the boom na power my no na your problem. That is the truth. That has always been the problem with the doomsday situation in Ghana. If the government is not honest with the people about the true cause of our problem, and be sincere and honest with us, you better go around in circles, you better go around in circles,
But say it is adentina it is say their working if you don't need anything to go by it is say gas no am I a problem? Does it mean say ye Ghana gas no one to produce gas it is say ye nya near the my plant because maybe no yet a crampo say gas no ye nya kra ma na broso it is say the kind of grand and say ye to be no many didn't they say kobanisa
this about the say because man about that 8 years in your power crisis for 8 weeks 8 years 8 years in your power crisis for 8 weeks and that 8 weeks power crisis it was also the same thing gas fuel and by the time of the entire tenor we are in crisis 16 months about waiting on my 7 months out of 16 months I'm on my energy crisis 7 months out of 16 months I'm on my energy crisis and the energy crisis I came last year and I'm on my doom solid the whole world Ghana pay any year doom so tax you increasing electricity by 24% and so you're the whole world. And it's our question of becoming there. I buy now because
but also Dennis, you should also admit, say in 2025, early 2025, buying a bar for an anchor and then said that as a woman, you but now magnitude name so to say the young media. But can you be done and so a bit done and so pa
which is true.
Yeah.
In your crisis from early 2025 up to somewhere May, June.
Yeah.
7 months ago. Maybe this year 2 months, like last year 5 months ago. So it's true. It's not a lie. So ask yourself, say, okay, say, a year and a half to June, no? Almost as if you're going to somehow resolve it. That's a year almost stabilize the past. Okay. It's about somehow resolve it and almost stabilizing the answer about you. There is something fundamentally wrong about the capacity of the NDC government to manage energy in this country. That is what we should all keep our eyes on. Fundamentally, there is something wrong about the capacity, the capability of this NDC government to manage this country's energy sector. There is no lie about that. Consistently, it has been proven, say, only a clueless. Because excuses for women they don't even know what the problem is for them to even give you a solution.
Eti ye can say we share at the level a year ko ye hwe animu say if perhaps installations are air cost no say air code year don't we have the belief say ebedu baby ebe say okay ya install we are na ye the transformers and they be complemented that they work on
transformers. If a binary catcher say transformers in the world so there any it means that we don't have any solution to our energy crisis in sight. Because Opa Mac, when we install 3,000 transformers in the area, we will still have this problem. If that is what they think is a problem there, then they have no idea how to fix the problem for us.
Dennis Anope, your dance is on your dinkomo. Good. Dennis Miracle Abwaje, aid to Dr. Mahmoud Baumia. And what have you, all packed and ready to go. Ghana with your studio with radio station 100.9 online.
Interviews and what have you, all packed and ready to go. Your favorite
6 minutes past 9 and pay. In the month for 10 years. Ghana Gospel UK artists celebrating their 10-year anniversary. At the weekend in Embassy. That was the pay me all the Ghana Gospel Artists UK. I'm watching the Wapam for the pay me 27.5 minutes past 9 o'clock on the bench. We'll bring you UK Metropolitan News. Action some of course Ubekaya King Charles on a more 4-day visit at US of A. Some back on the news so a baton with the bedroom of pay. Now we share Lord Manderson in some year, not just still ongoing. As 70 if it's a twin track, my Prime Minister now so good did you maybe near dear semi ama no action papa. Not just a choir of Faso Pam Epapay, a Malcoy US ambassador to the UK ambassador to the US of A. Now, I know Ayan Semi by Okobo Dimba Kwa, pedophile, and your friend Jeffrey Epstein. Not just no honor, no session, Colania, dear, or Yama Bebre, Yama Bonio, ye, any nan. Sani pay, that's a what down for the other, said, who has mine. Sasamin Kodaya, it has not gone to sleep, it is still being resurrected. Our Semnom has gone to the extreme. To the fact that there's an inquiry almost set to make sure that the security checks to appoint Lord Manderson as the U.S. ambassador. What was the inferences and the circumstances surrounding that appointment? The backstops on the Prime Minister, why the Prime Minister also gave an approval when there was a vetting that was supposed to be a proper vetting to make sure so near Hokekebia, but it went to the downstream. So he was given that appointment based on the fact that Lord Manderson is one of the astute politicians, and at the same time, he was given that opportunity to go and be the ambassador to US. Echenu oko ye interview no ko Bob Papedin and on a trigger. The little thing he said has triggered a lot and also called for his removal. Now there's inquiry being done to make sure whether there was a proper scrutiny before he was appointed as the head. In the meantime, in between time, we're moving on quickly. Now, wherever you are this one, I hope life is better much for you today. In the meantime, one more musical interlude, and then now you are 12 minutes, so we'll bring you other report. Now 12 minutes one up in there. Thursday morning. Tiembo na yenti idmedun to nyanko ni manopay.
The news, the interviews, and what have you, all packed and ready to go on your favorite radio station, Hot Digital Online.
Nanga unina, mabwa
All right, so moving on quickly now, Nadine, Eddie, Kofi B, and it is the Mason works in perfect peace. And here, Queen Night, 12 million son paid. Now in the United Kingdom, this morning on Port House, Anope, two Jewish men have been stabbed in Golders Green, North London, in what has been declared as a terrorist incident by the police. And the police, the men named locally as Shalom Rand, 34, and Moshi Shine, 76, were treated at the scene. They are known in a stable condition in hospital. The Metropolitan Police has said 45-year-old man, a British national born in Somalia, was teased by the police before being arrested on suspicion of attempted murder. The force said the suspect remained in custody. Prime Minister Keir Starmer said the anti-Semitic attack, the latest in the string in the UK, was utterly appalling, adding attacks on Jewish community, attacks on British. Enti Obekaya na ambulances be and say reporters say North London, 4 ambulances were set ablaze. It was an arson act, arson. Not just be echo pager to nipa be miensa and a chase uncle na only a Jewish community. Enti Obekai Iran sensemi by any Jew phones and semi Israel and semi Americans and semi. And that week in Moa, say 4 ambulances belong to the Jewish community were set ablaze. Not just only Jakotumu. Now it was a crime scene where those perpetrators, 3 of them were arrested because they are investigating to see whether the other culprit, who was also part of the vandalism, course, which was an act. Now no, and yenke binshemu anura anso no. Jufu mienu bi aya attack on my war mosekan. Na ye treat them, discharge them. The person, the suspect, you say, or you're British in the war no Somalia, and he's been charged for attempted murder. Not just that was a criminality. And no one did make a court. Not just say no, it's not shame. Now the Met said officers responded at about 11:16 BST on Wednesday after receiving report that people had been stabbed in the Highfield Avenue, which runs off the Golders Green Road. The suspect also attempted to stab the attending officers. That Met said were none injured. Enti danka suspect no police for na kasa koso one second and omo ye ha chase abranti. Enti video shared on the social media appears to show the moment of the arrest. 2 of the officers can be seen approaching the man before a teasers. One teases him and also fell on the ground. And teaser no, I had to say pepper spray. Fu any swat na fe wodaho. No, Bama why is a wabble with Daisy. No. It is being authorized, especially when we talk about small arms act, Obi Owa no use for self-defense. He's been authorized to garner that particular weapon to make a self-defense, especially when somebody want to attack you unreservedly. You use that one to create a defense. And Tianona Banasana, there was the preponderance when you sunu haphazardly. And now so one years why you will be a whole spray nana bibia. The police can arrest you and say, where did you get this thing from? Because you need to be given an authority before you can use such weapons. It mostly for the police in the metropolitan where people want to vandalize issues. And no one sem anape. And until the Met Police received the footage on incident from the officers' body-worn cameras, in which they can be heard shouting repeatedly for the suspect to get down on the ground before he teased and then dropped the knife. The suspect refused to show his hands and was violent and continued to pose a clear threat. The police said, adding that the suspect continued to try and attack and stab the officers. They were detaining him. No see the Golders Green. Now it was a horrible scene yesterday around Golders Green. In the meantime, in between time, now, as we've been told, there's more to come. The city caught in the middle of the big energy shift debate, anti-energy bills. Maybe in some time, around this time till maybe the spring, maybe we can see some drastic changes or maybe a reduction in the transition from oil and gas jobs into renewable jobs has been on the lips of many politicians in recent years, including during the recent Holy Road election campaign. Specifically, the talks has been of just transition, at the heart of the energy policy, the idea of smooth and equitable shift of labor from dirty oil, old oil to a bright green future. In the UK Energy Secretary Ed Miliband present this as both of moral and practical duty, repeating warnings from climate scientists that burning every last drop of oil will accelerate catastrophic global warming. Now, our position is rooted in a plan for a just transition and a fair-minded analysis of what the science demands, he insisted in a speech on the 21st of April. But Elona says that not experience just a transition, nor she says thousands of other workers in the industry. As the growing concerns, now we're talking about the Middle East, the Buhaha, Ekoso, Strait of Hormuz, you understand, sir, the Iranian also want to put a blockage on that one where Donald Trump insisted, sir, they cannot do that. But they did it because they are saying, sir, the fight has not ended. The mission has not been accomplished. If one time you have touched us, we touch everyone. Their leader was killed in a cold blood. Until one more time, they will insist to continue to do that. It's also giving a reprehension to every country where we dwell on such a oil industry. Now, is here we fear oil now. Barrel no $118, $118, and that is quite expensive. So it's going to be extradited into Ghana, beyond. Na enche na some napos no ibidi hu nkomo anope. In the meantime, in between time, oil no and gas hu sensem. King Charles has a state visit to the US of A, and the King Charles must be pinching himself at the moment after month and month of terrible headlines. He's suddenly surrounded by the applause. Over the past couple of days, in his speeches on the US visit, he teased Trump, stood up to him, cheered him, and even though it was heading in a velvet glove, landed a couple of decent digs. In many commentators, even critics of the monarch, they seemed delighted at the spectacle and it was undergoing, winning the cup against all expectations. Alistair Campbell, a long-standing Republican, posted, "Excellent speech by King Charles. Love the confidence in British and European values." Sir Anthony Sheldon, a historian and biographer of the Prime Minister's praise the subtle of what the king seemed to have also pulled off. With the president known for his unpredictability and fresh out of an assassination attempt, the king managed to land a subtle blow after how on a smiling president upholding Ukraine NATO climate change, the Royal Navy and the limit of presidential authority, and Sir Anthony said he described it as a state visit for the ages, the most of significance since his grandfather George VI also visited the 1939 on the eve of Second World War. Emily Matis, the interview of Prince Andrew in the Newsnight interview, made the bigger claims, hailing the speech for cheering up the nation. You send somebody out there and everyone applaud him and also carries it off. He did a sort of love and actual speech, be written by Plato. speech, King Charles, Eddie Cohen Nano, he made mention of a lot, including the attempt to kill the president. Ninano, everything was circumvented. He put everything in perspective. And so one more time, the UK metropolitan news has been clouded, and also there's a lot of groceries that we have at our disposal this morning by kind courtesy of Unity Link Financial Services Limited, and then Renewable Social Housing. And okay, let me quickly acknowledge my proud sponsors, and then before we get back into business. Sir Keir Starmer has defended his records in government as Kemi Badenoch accused him of having squandered his political capital in the last Prime Minister's question before election next week. The Conservative leader said, Sir Keir Starmer presided over one disaster after another and was now accused of serving his own skin. The Prime Minister said Labour had delivered right at work, security for renters, and lifted 500,000 children out of poverty, adding that our mission, nothing is going to hold us back. He said the Tories were playing political games, a reference to the party's attempt to launch an inquiry into whether the Prime Minister misled over the appointment of Lord Manderson. And the Prime Minister will insist that on Thursday evening, the House of Commons voted not to refer the Prime Minister to the Privileges Committee by 335 vote to 233 vote. The majority of the MPs voted against the motion, following no 10 operation to rally support for the Prime Minister. Sir Keir Starmer has rejected claims that misled the Commons about the vetting process for Lord Manderson, and who was appointed as the UK's ambassador to US, but sacked him after 7 months into the job. Badenoch said the Prime Minister had been reduced to begging his MPs for their support in the vote, and drew a contrast with the week following 2024 general election, when she said government benches were full of sycophantic questions and adoring new MPs. This government is like an episode of Games of Thrones, and said in a reference to the Greater Manchester Mayor, Andy Burnham, and also his own people have turned against him, and all while the Prime Minister is holed up in his castle, wetting himself about a visit from the King in the north. The Conservative leader argued that UK could not defend itself because too much money was being spent on welfare, and the Prime Minister was unable to cut benefit bills because he had squandered all his political capital saving his own skin. The Prime Minister replied that government was not increasing defense spending to its highest level since the end of Cold War. And there was a banter with the two leaders, the Prime Minister and Conservative leader Badenoch, who was saying, sir, the Prime Minister begged his people to vote against the motion that was tabled for inquiry to be done, and see whether there's going to be a tighter scrutiny to see how best Lord Manderson was appointed as the US ambassador. There was questionable characters who they thought, said there was no due diligence in giving that appointment. Into the thing said that obligation was a misleading obligation. Into and so the Badenoch and Keir Starmer questions and the Commons, there was huge tension that erupted. But the Prime Minister was able to sail through 355 against 233. And the Prime Minister, the vote has given that appendage to still stand tall as the Prime Minister and make sure, say, the scrutiny that was about to be taking place, say, will be scrutinized. Say, Lord Manderson appointment, na papa and na papa, no. That motion has been quashed by the vote, majority vote. In the and pay 46 minutes past 9 o'clock this morning. In the na me acknowledge me proud sponsors. Na ya twa idumedi no so pay na you move on quickly. In the meantime, in between time, yanko inim na yan twa idumedi so. Into me ye ba na ya toa so anope Hot Digital Online UK and awuti more to come into two
The news, the interviews, and what have you, all packed and ready to go on your favorite radio station, Hot Digital Online.
Take me to prison. I'll give you 1 million reasons why you should be mama. You should be mama. You they make me go mental. Who they me chance and me tender. Oh baby, would you tell me why? You tell me why? You are the woman that I need. I'll be the one man that you see. You set my heart on fire. You be the woman that I need. I'll be the one man that you see. You set my heart on fire.
More minutes to the top of the hour and check now at exactly 10 o'clock here we activate the phone lines. In the meantime, let me acknowledge my proud sponsor. The song in the background from Kiddy featuring Adina. I say one man, no show.
Yeah, you are the woman that I need. I'll be the one man that you see.
In the meantime, Unity Financial Services Limited, when it talks about mobile money to major network in Ghana, cash pickup to 18 banks and all RAP banks in Ghana, airtime top up 15.6 is the rate today. 1 CD to a pound. 15.6 for Unity Link Financial Services Limited. On the pay happen to be our proud sponsor. In the meantime, in between time, welcome to Rehoboth Social Housing, where a gateway to modern family living, the home of relaxation, beautiful edifice, and to imagine living in a secured gated community that features a recreational center, beautiful landscape grounds, and a peace of mind that every family deserves. In the meantime, many in abroad, the diaspora, one man on it, Ghana, Rehoboth Social Housing for have put up beautiful edifice, a gated community where before you want to pay a visit, you need an appointment before you go to such serene environment. Very important. Now it's 2, 3, and 4 bedroom houses. So if you want to acquire property with Rehoboth Social Housing, or more banks, at this time it has been converted into cities from dollar. And the Rehoboth Social Housing Fano pay plus 44 791 737 6631 plus 44 791 737 6631 and plus 233 244 764499 and no a Rehoboth Social Housing. Omo branch Milton Keynes. It does shipping for Susano pay dom na a bano say air freight and sea freight. Almost 65 Upton Lane, Forest Gate Echo 7, 9 Premier Bravo, door to door by air and sea. So a delay with money transfer and airline ticket. Almost boxes, drums, tapes, and etc. Pesoya container chinchinchi they call Ghana. Idas for no pay and so dom. Personal effect how they call from plus 44 794 736 1067 plus 44 794 736 1067 here. Idas shipping. AJN and Co Limited, their chartered accountant business advisors, specialists in preparation, annual account bookkeeping, self-assessment, especially for Uber drivers. AJN and Co Limited and pay. They happen to be one of the renowned accountancy firm receiving much of awards in the metropolitan UK due to due diligence. And the agent and Co Limited say we Uber driver no nyamre follow taxes are. But when they are free na want to mean follow taxes amount, there will be the conveyor belt to follow taxes at a point in time. Refund from HMRC claims and in the P45 and P60 for 016344 70495 01634470495 and 078830777742. And AJN and Co Limited, Chartered Accountant Business Advisors. In the meantime, Fatherly Visa Travel and Tours, a ban of passport ones and some airline ticket, Union France or Finsbury Park, London, November 4, 3 Echo Green on 07939656111 07939656111 and 0207619383. No, Fatherly Visa Travel and Tours worldwide. I no pay and so every chidom I no pay titu. Ebano media walls ufie no dum pempenso a opese titu oma we decorations wo fie bia na opese udi bi ma haye obetumi IBF and loft conversion and also say extension ana garage nso obetumi yusu intima we free ebano kitchen, bathroom, flooring, any driveway in aye as a group. Na omo BBFN media works nti no TV ne be boda ho kama ama on say anu mfa TV nsipono so etwem eno aye kolo nti bombodi afre as a group for +44794 306 0283 +44794 306 0283 teno aye as a group anopesu minka say na kinki dokunu shufie ho ena benya dokunu emu apartal enti bano quality Ghanaian Gan Kinky and Fanti Kinky and Na Kinky what times to 163165 High Street, what times to near Nationwide Bank on 074-824-22-505 074-824-22-505. You know, Na Kinky and pay and so Ebuichidom. Minkai want to pay to say Titu and so two Rhapsody apartment inti sebia woko Ghana na Rhapsody apartment ayakrado etwen na waye we buku wa ha titu buku ya na kese edemu so inti udu Ghana de airport pickup ho inti bia wo long stay na short stay Rhapsody apartment you know say almost discounted packages no comes at a reduced rate and it does not include electricity because electricity no get like the cable metal wire where they carry am nti bombody answer electricity in the one over slot too when am yan share person now 1 year 1 year 2 years and also say short stay bia between your mark agreement no my bibia kama okwa wakotena wakopetch kama nti Airbnb or North Legon Soas Peace Peaceful Lane block AJ Ghana 0+233 5538-30229 +233 5538-30229 and also say +44744 5311 265 +44744 5311 265 and your UK number and on page min ka say Star Motors for also omo servicing and repairs na car bia no omo di hujuma especially car ni engine gearbox, clutches, and one bit may replace your clutch, you know, exhaust pipe. In fact, exhaust pipe into exhaust computer diagnostics and as a MOT while you wait and etc. All more efficient and affordable. Star Motors War 1 Pretoria Road, Tottenham, London N17 8DX, Bang White Hart Lane, grocery shop near the train station, into by the bridge, into 079 58 560059 079 58 56 0059 and on 07944 995651 now 02088 803275 into near Star Motors na omudi akutini papa panko football mudin uka bia wo bia no all make yehu juma sonko and opesmen ka say Step Ahead Foods and so Ghanaian company back one. Omo Ghanaian nuane label no kama na just say bano brand images na omo a brand no air sunko omo soft golden tropical bread, big fresh, rich and irresistible smooth, authentic banku perfectly prepared for the true home style experience. Signature Fanti Kenke traditionally wrapped, deeply satisfying in rich heritage and a crunchy plantain chips, boldly crispy and impossible to put down. And you call most of the Ghanaian leading shops now. Ubenya step ahead foods in Dian and be open a dodon swa. Ubet me a fresh 074 9765 6309 074 9765 6309. And I say admin at stepaheadfoods.uk and pay and so eboichidom till enche na yakwenim na to admit so till and pay and body till na
show this was say once for the cool rule at the pan mark you again
in the meantime kabe 3 more minutes to the top of the hour na yakwenim a clean a fiebi ewo furnished double room available in a 2-bedroom flat Canadian Camden Town. Now rent is $720 per month, inclusive all bills with free Wi-Fi, monthly free Wi-Fi. Fred 07824186222 07824186222. You know, a beautiful furnished double room. I know what Camden area. E&J Handyman about carpentry works, door fixing and hanging, fixing of kitchen wardrobes and wooden floors. From Bonnie and Frere for carpentry works, be our Baba Shama E&J Handyman. 07432402117 and know your E&J Handyman.
Rasta, the girls love me and me love them too, man. Miss your target, no, yes, scandalous. When you boss wape, then you make it, can't help Miss Sweetie me who said, you may.
The Ras Bonsra, one of my old brothers, Ras Bonsra, no pay me check out. Now, GT has joined us this morning on the social media platform Vidal's event. Also, we'll try and pay more to come this morning. Hallelujah. For viewers and pay watching us live on social media platforms this morning, we acknowledge all of you and also give you some gratitude this morning, each and every morning. And pay Ariba and Ariha and so share and pay.
Obia beso ko heavy so bian peso beho. Obia beso ko heavy so bian peso beho. Uneme si swechini, imuye tu papa. Meshewa ubeye, meshewa ebefa. Mami sanke ansana huwa famyo. Mami sanke ansana huwa famyo. Mami sanke ansana huwa famyo. Mami sanke ansana huwa famyo.
The news, the interviews, and what have you, all packed and ready to go on your favorite radio station, Hot Digital Online.
Hey, question a catching ubo mua unie wa mumu wa usie. It's me baby remadi na mahu me sen.
The interviews, and what have you, all packed and ready to go on your favorite radio station, Hot Digital Online.
My Lord is coming very soon. Messiah is coming very soon. Oh, 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 coming very soon. Oh, 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 coming very soon. Jesus is coming again. Jesus is coming. Jesus coming again. Jesus is coming. Yes, oh my, what's a come on Jesus is coming. Yes, oh my, what's a come on. Would you be ready when the time is due? Oh, would you be ready when our Lord is here? Would you be ready when the time is due? Oh, the signs of the days proves that is coming. The signs of the days proves that is coming. Rumor from wars that we can find.
The news, the interviews, and what have you, all packed and ready to go on your favorite radio station, Hot Digital Online.
Jesus
Gifty Gossin, one of my favorite songs from my dear sister, featuring all time Adani Bezo. Say Jesus is coming very soon. In the meantime, in a short while, we activate the phone line to talk about issues this morning. Before the end of the session this morning, we get to our destination at exactly 11, where Sofo Achampong will bring us the word of God this morning. And I'll pay Yenti Kwame Pekam in Ghana. Kwame Yenti.
Do medasi ne akwanya pay mentia hot management and to all communicators in the Nana Kwame teams made Mr. Abbey silent listeners ejatofo German Boga and Ejabrinya memo me old man pensioner Watana London 52 years the friend of German for or Ghana Sisia I send a Jomama didn't see muno Eja crank or buy or ye the kukufu or sequame meton and to abomiso. Eja baby I will be that's all Injina ni say because we're to Ghana for effort say a battle yam 4 time and 2 aba. Penny for say Sumana Montenten yan Sumana Montenten Yasuma Sabinian Seni aha na va Ghana. And let me know, in about an hour time, me cross River Tano beam. Now make sure the state of River Tano, now me the ascendo. Me buy my travel pa, Kwame yana me pa diashi. Isan say me o mabai mu ameka. Your mama na yinim na boss ye yinim nisu se o money homo den nti ye catch the Ghana for. Me buy ya Patrick ya. My travel so far over 4 regions. And Kanan Kameko Central Region by Bibin Timenko. And in yes, me buy me Nante Patrick Senia Okano. Me the car. Ye can Akwambone from Accra to Kumasi, capital to a city. Valentine said, "Oh, faso, Nasa Ura, Jose Ghanaian, Minhuni Ebema Ura Hubium. From Kumasi to Sunyai, another big 2 cities. Uj o swa, Abrewa Yemfa Kamfano, Emfasa Quinaso. Oba ye bibia diegu. And then we say I can electricity asset. Now a be more ha. Okay, ye selective. Now you're delighted to my don't do ya, your mama, now you be news of money homo dink or they punish your more. A bit is any public quadramafo. And on one and no tomb, so what them 3 days. Only light. Me I must say, or see a fair namely say, I'm say, Anthony more farbanum. And your men are me ye, more mo. Na ne ayane se ene dum so mama you should punish ni pagana for after say waje 1 cedi anya adwuma uko bisa ho asem say 1 cedi mo sha ase amoje mo render account entry yen what have you been doing with the 1 cedi ubisa na ne kokwa pai na se ne yaye kai Valentine yesenka nipa se usue nyansa afiri obi ho a enye bone o. Even Bible trokunkun ya menu mienu ye kenkai o se okwasia ko tete ya nchen na kusua ni ways e de na esi kwan se at least MPP aban etena so say dum so we are ye hu sabri ye hu bi o na mo misa mo simple questions say na na mo fa so na mo ye ne kwan ben so eno na nanka mo abobu mu ana nenso da bia meka se ye se a friend say triwuye mu patapa ade no nim enso makwan e ma ye nkyere no sana jomama mamu tie wase bibia ene wa wunya ne mu arehemu se oba be ya de papa bia oba ye drones wase sano wa ma abobolance na o se ene se wo hwe social media ko se ya na ajerega obekọ ne ya bie ne friends ne hwe so ne ya hwem na no ya mebowo tiefo ene wan kasa mane se eye awoshi anywhere procure buses ye they are from Egypt. Your mama and Quenya mono Egypt and or procure sa buses the free. Oh, 2 9 free ha corner bus no ajrega. New buses are ya procure. Now unquad the idea and the abo.
All right.
So on Saturday so be BMW she essay. Send ya me no case and near end no crane se va. Untimin ya call. Say a drain you free bear 5:30 yakobo 6 or ya quiet will be free why ma. Internet is not accessible. Me say your mama have sent Ghana to a stone age The Stone Age experience is what John Mama is practicing now.
I mean, take a breath.
Nti yɛbɛ srɛ sɛ yɛde nyansa na ɛto aba. Yɛmfa sɛ metan wei, yɛmfa sɛ bia wei firi ha. Na mo yɛhwɛ nipa no n'adwuma a wayɛ bi. Ɔno koraa deɛ ɔsɛnde clear signal. So onim adwuma no. Nti yɛsɛ dɛn na akɔfa ne ba.
Yɛda ase. Marcus yɛntio.
Yɛde nyansa na ɛto aba. Yɛde nyansa na ɛto aba. Wonya power nso a na wahwɛ ne yie because wonya power na nipa na ɛbɔ a ɔma akɔ power no. Yɛfrɛ wo a wafa phone call. Ɛnyɛ sɛ wayɛ busy da bia ɛno deɛ ɛde mo kɔhwɛ opposition yɛ kaakae. Valentine, ade a mede akɔ ameka me ne no yɛ adwene bibi. First of all, nɔpɛ mekyia akyemfoɔ nyinaa ɛba radio so me nua nana akɔ ametam to. Me nua ɔba da akye ma mekyia bebree sister one. Metawakyi wo sunsun wo nsoro biribiara deɛ ɛtawakyi. Me nua ɔba aba yɛ a wɔfa Patrick ɛnya akyia mo. Valentine.
Yeah.
And no man will be back. Very scary. Very scary because but then I always tell you I'm for Ghana. Over catch them so just one city, and they are electricity argument. Now by catch them electricity, the problem is so bad to the sense it will take another 3 months to 2 years and what's our problem now. Tambe na who decided Valentine. Who could be a Munasa will take you over. Before I hand you over, man, you go there, you assess the situation, and you are on you know, I say, I know who says, how do we see, and I say, what is this? Because over catch them and say, Mr. Kantin, I want to be electricity to be a problem. It will be this car. I'm a make the ball of us. I found 3-4 months down the line, and now I can't answer we ask them. Now, then, all the say, I say to people, say, obi kasa they are fan of time yen cheddar TWS no camera obi crowd be we ni but no too many of us new project the boy about so or this also we not angry enough into these politicians they play with us so you serious country are they in situation maybe say from Ghana almost 6 years and I've been in Ghana constant. Now electricity problem like the thing, and some have been juice average. All of a sudden, and no man transformers are organic. But what are we talking about? But where can you have to go out and demonstrate? Ghana. No man can go man here. One more thing, they say Valentine express had to be Ghana. Not Ghana 2 years ago, they do like. Now, some of the if you have one card, you do can 1 second, you do 20 times, when you're generator. But baby, I'm cautious, no video. Now, I was so hot, so I'm a person can call hotel, baby. But we are ready, this is my phone to the president, I'll go to that. Now, Valentine, you see, I'm an antenna, I'm a break a crab because they'll show no bar. Then I'm not going to be given any more moving come on. You're doing Caniano. Just me say, I'm grabbing who get no answer. I was so scared because the point say you're so dark. You're so dark now. Just phone tell us no didn't come. You do like to just empower more. They're used to that type of lifestyle. You know, I see the frustration I probably share because if we are alcohol, that's who is under my one guy. I'll go back bottom. That will make a winner. We can be too powerful. Kwame Agobro, you're going to be a sad here. Now, the back what happened is a Valentine. Okay, I set up an MPT also. No. COVID level come is scanner MPT for the year. And this is for the pass.
Yeah.
And a scanner mode here. Because communicators now they communicate here. They're better than one organ. The MPP as opposition party should be banging on Ghanaians about this one city thing. I don't know if do we move back opposition because because of the power here, the show now things are bad here, they happen now be these what time of vessel. Some MPP were doing well now. It do better. One cat at Rom Tom and no vote to a mat. We must stand on the web. To be uncle Akuma to him without to be.
And Nana Luti you. Nana Luti.
Yo, Mpacha no yam ho abotre kakra nam dia to me.
Okay, no problem.
Yeah, no am time kakra me ya. Me ma no ichi mam dedi ka me tie busuafo nyina. Oba ye ni papa ti kwa me le nyame akọ abiju. Na say metia obia oyenkese e ma me dickness ne e ma kasa wo radio ni so nyina metia obia me ene wo ma maka bra tese yem ne nwanwo se enti nipa ultimate na city me kase ya to ma adwene na me de amanyokuo na me wo mu no eyiw enyo eno ana me support se me dwene ho a me nti ase senti NDC for timi nya power nya hoden to make us say ye babontin abeye campaign say a good board enye sika economy na gina na into omo be ka say ya no omo say NDC ni ba o platform yi so ana Ghana kotena radio station ninti o kasa inti ya no onfele ya na nanimu say wote ho amena ka kire wo say your mahama ba or the doom so be ba ampa na doom so na ba papa we die o ye corrupt no ampa oba betu ya na ni nua timi akoto play and so omo timi defend enti ya na nyi omo fele ya no omo ti ho omo animu ye ka se ye to ho ya ka se ye ba kuku ye betimi ato mo se afedi ya ti eja mind ye so awurade nyankopɔn ghanafoɔ nso yɛ mmɔbɔ o nso yɛsa ate wɔn ma saa nkurɔfoɔ wei tumi ɛba bɛtena ase ba bɛkasa na saa radio no ne yɛbie ne yɛtie memete saa ndc ne kasa a no badum no ɔkasa wie a bi koraa no ma low volume no sɛ ɛbɛyɛ a ma asɔnte ebi so aka na no asoma a no ma asa abie ra nyame nhyira wo ɛnam nkasa kɛse
Hello, Pa. Good morning.
Morning, I'll point you.
I no pay dear. Metia a telephone na mini akwame peka moko ye mini okosi a brief in the dinkra. Na kwam temps made. Also for kwa David metia pa Lee, Uncle Joe and Fred. Obi a mini amanom nana a leader oba ya if anything that him Dickness it's on pay. It's here be now Valentine. Yeah, January some more Ghana. In fact, yeah, trust be buff srokakra. Jerry, is it McJerry? Yeah. Me penasem, but to the beer. Yeah, the commentary no to sneakakra. Or see an interview of former your friend is saying ECG boss. Now one man thump up was sending the message now then some more and with the one year political why yeah dear if you say not or ye manager MPP address and some more can now say and or say ye miracle on some miracle kana obesity trust now in anyway I interview miracle oh say interview miracle fantastic and anyway a brother IGP me finiding Tema na Tobo ya secretary no. Na Tobo ya assistant.
Yeah.
No ya special, but say no or MP NDC jacket, but nobody knows. And the fact say no or ya appointing the MPP Breswa or ya manager no doesn't mean say Obeka be papa afa MPP who na be it. No cramp this argument go there. It was there in arrival. Okay. But miracle can be. Or say odi e no kure. Senia abuji na pobeka ni na emfa say no kure. And am most transformers. It is a most transformer ewo abeka. Do we have to put off all the whole Ghana your light? Say yes, it's a transmission line. It was Sunyania. It was say the whole Ghana the light cut off. And also young fan tunting. Say transformer na Moses and a transmission light na Moses and then a multimedium light na no pay. Na about 12 anamaso, about 8 anamaso. And to say your transmission light, I want to say, oh. Area ha ye doom ye best some transmission light no enti 2 days ni munya light muria na masan so enti sa question we ni ba me pa cho bisane mame so de hem fa ne se ne omo kan nyina that program no na adenti na say yes se transformer e wo kolioko a yetimi doom light e wo kumase okay it's sa question no person obisa any your friend saying new cross what Johnny Achedodo light yasemi omra no meka bi na afen so dum so aw areho what yen dum so levy 1 cedi per liter enye 1 cedi per gallon 1 cedi per liter nso ye da sum what say I increase tariff 24% yen so ye da sum Obaya agenda 111 wo de nneema nketenkete nko a wo si yo empire no na emu the chief compound ne beba se na me nua kwa me kan no ye the ambulance proper ambulance aba first mo buy mo de ntontro ambulance de buy and you buy the proper ambulance aba wo buy mo so mo de ambulance e na mo de beba. What kind of leadership, what kind of government it is? And Tiana mi bisa senti Ghana for na ye koto aba me ne kwa me agree 100%. Say e dem pa na ye hu NDC for a yakona omokoto aba ama NDC. Now Bob Malik can be emancipate yourself from mental slavery. Ghanaians, we should wake up and get out of our mental slavery. Ni who say NDC no mu timi fa de papa bia emre Ghana.
Yada sepa enua obrempon no. Hello.
Well, good morning.
Morning, that's you into you.
Yo, me that me akonya with your mama. Obrempon me jo so pa Monica say. Inya Sam Peckham. I'm one year Jumapa. I will ready all my Ghana. My name will your daughter, me, my Namachia Marco could do for our leader, Dr. Obaya, Mammy. Nana, my Mr. One, Sister Dora of Manchester, Memen Munyam Fui, Mr. Joe Tramper of Northampton, Nama Bastard London. Miami Chairman, Frank Edmond, and then a vibe and a be a show. Mr. Juata, a couple of other Michiana of the Pong, which I also this year. Lee Aqua David, a Jawusu, Jeff of Luton, and naming Abema Patrick, Michiamuna, I'm a post Wakamote. Saturday, 229 Ramford Road, Mama, Yen socialize it, Yenny. Na yan kwati yan my Ghana yes ango for we ye omani bi papa bi adema o my Ghana how to strategize umra na no pay onabo how akunu se me ne ka se we ya na me hwe wonya me adomo de na bedua ma me okay enti ya mana kwa ba tinchi pa okay so de no nyam bet adwuma di nesi ni se en na chira so na onabo intin fojo waduru ha Balantan na me cha me chia wo pa ya me ntantia me chia wo and when I name it, I do be brave and Maria who papa. And the man who say, what one will you so? Say, or bad tire, pay for when you might.
Oh, no, life, no, I don't know the two.
Are you? It's so sad. I'm not made tear again. In fact, Maria, who ya meant to me credit because me may be a free man. I will promote how I get a 2 years. Mammy, too, I rather for the clients. We call Morgan by a veranda. If it's in our town and I mean, okay. Not that time, what can ya the next other hospital say, or more to me, a cesarean. It's the Emphanamla. No more to me, happening a man of my woman. The intimate such a priority right to say, or be the life of ma. No, actually, no, also time another life. A year, I think that's about time. Your nurses, any midwives, your more a workshop will say they should treat urgent cases with priority. Balantan, ask me how to say, and Pendigo. And you must have you must have refer to the hospital. No much now another where they kill or the Sama was free. Because they can was our plan and can get to also the mini. I will apply 2 years away. I'm with Ghana for nurses, yes, and the doctors. And you say you want to add is service your country and humanity. No, Akachiano was so yes, yeah, when you're empathic. Emma Titu and my year by the war. Yeah, I want such a priority right. Now, I'm going to say, what a warning quanta. No one in civil. Ask from Obaka was never answered. Well, mad, because 9 months I can't you know. I would be so your man do say. And make a claim, I will wow one at the Yapanato, the Bassaya, Yana. And most of them also, a human error, you bet to me, are prevented. Now, may come and move Valentine, and we do see. But say you catch them. And Ram said, they may car, you know, and then who may say, America, why you're so bullshit. I didn't know you. The car, the power, you have never took away my power, and no, and a year, and yet you can some. And go for my bidda. And you generate a BIH, a transformer BIH, you know. and any MPP need be or some transformer because those on the bar if you win. You know to NDC in the tour and MPP in the tour. Asante Reggae if you got in the buy, so I'm a time of capitation the quarter Asante Reggae, the Bonnie I war. The end do so Accra and yet the Asante Reggae the Valentine Busa. Trianca Santigana for your catcher say, Woman will move more because Yenya Obi Akacha said, and we are you got Dr. Lahad Mahmoud Baumia. You ever see the power a solar system? And I'm Ghana way, what's here the other class, the corn artist, you got John Dramani Mama. Or your truth will be called for the show. And I'm with you know, set war back on the Marco, or Messi the Agena, I want my dollar Agena, or many amount of peso, and then
that's upon no
Agena, and I'm a section of what to say.
That's upon that you, Jana, or Becassa. Young coin in the end to admit us one of I quite evident you and co the other ones.
Yo, Mr. Valentine, that's me. That is my mom say, well, buy Obrepon, compact of the Mr. Bank, Kofi Francis, some portion, that's what. Hopefully, Fred, such a form that Mama, me, and I'm here, visible, and Mammy, answerable. Mama, can you chap now? Obin now say, I come in there to and not put on the biblical. And we are not going to be made. In each another, according to a bit to know abroad at your body. And you know, on top. Now, I know I was a gun of the way Galley. But it was a baby, it took us to go to for a boom. Or to our Bonia. What is the what did the Bonnie? We did the Bonia. Or Ancasano, Bobby, every day, and Bachino. About a Kwame Eka, Kwasi Root, and other rules I got. The minister. MPP say eba edipa what badia we talk what you are doing eba say school eba say hospitals and nti eno munye so dey for see agenda 111 na attrapeti of ambulance by and some dey draws by because we MPP e jump down the and no baby on one day. I quite years so or me one day. It is a six president since 1922. That's a mummy new NDC, a new MVP, not a moon NDC. That's from Accra to Kumasi, from Kwale to Sunyani, from Kwale to Tabale, from Accra to Kepush, and it's Takradi. Acquiring would be used like what we part there. Maybe I can put board for. I can Ghana, sir. I quite say issue of the sir. You say, who's that? I'm an afford. Woman in India, I be quite say, sir. The great father, and from our so now I can't accept it. A center of that book. That's a good in India. What do you know? Overcast, oh, every answer. What do you go? I can't what do you go? Such a regime, I have from the world. And it's a walk, such a regime, once a one, support you as a one, as a one feeling, a book, Boguma. One as I wouldn't be away. Now, such a regime, I would do for a good year. Not yet, regional minister. Say, Ampo, as I before, but I wouldn't be more. And claiming and said, you were mature. So, I'm sure any appellate. Breakers he by a general politics. No, as a regional minister. One so, energy minister. Say, your mama, if you said, Oba Bemuna said, you're going to be a Republican. And you going to get what you are when you energy wants a general. Our first What did you put a second one? What did you do? Second one person will be a what you do the bear. And you put that like one bro. You know, be on one. I says, no, I didn't need anything. I didn't know they had there. I don't know a matter of I didn't know a way. We do we said here. I didn't get busy. And you want to be here. I was in more express 5 years. What the tell that one? What the born night white? What the support? Oh, my. And so any person that obey and no matter that what they can know, obey Nino, obey be about better. Oh, we are doing it. Every day, you're going to go. You come to me. I know. I wouldn't was out there with me. As you may be yet, we are some hooker. That's me. That's why.
All right. Academy studio. Francis into.
Hello, Van.
Yeah.
So say that Asante for you what we children now as you starting any Asante Kasana. Yeah, you can see the new two government studio. Asante for it, you're catching. You've been light of 2 years in Ashanti region. That's not fair. You've been light of 2 years for Ashanti region. This government, if I come and say the NDC don't like we Ashanti, if you don't see, I'm not being tried. Look, when John Rawlings came, he handed for the Ashantis, Okunya, Mebushi and Impo. This NDC party, no, they don't like
Ashanti region penna like
they don't like us.
Francis.
They don't like it. You like it. You see 2 years.
Francis.
That's what they said.
Francis,
2
don't
years.
set your questions. Don't set your idea. No, I don't know what do you want to talk.
Me say you be ma santing
me say
yeah you wa brochire you be because me ntua bosu me bia 50 pound for me tua you be like am Ashanti man am I will pay because we Ashantis we need our light.
All right.
Light of no Ghana in Ashanti region yeah they are worse.
All right.
Worse.
Yenda wasi.
And me I don't know.
And I don't like your approach. You
don't like what I'm my submission is what I'm
saying. You don't fight,
Francis. I've got family. We are continuing me Asantini.
Now who go on our family? Who go on our family? Obi our family.
I don't know. Light up your demo nipa. Obi ewu.
Asam number na wo ka.
Asam number.
Francis here.
Asam number here. Me can't say
the Uber, no, I say we now casa. You don't do that.
Me buefu say na yo bibi na yo ya.
Papa, thank you very much. You don't do that when you don't have any fight here. Fred, you ain't uncle.
Yo, me tell my Kofi Francis, me tell na pe on pen super be no more jojo nebo. Ɔhenikɛseɛ na sɛ metia no yie paa metia sɔfo akwa David Kwame Peckham na ne misa ɔbrempɔn ɛne nana Kwame Kemsme da gyatofoɔ ne German burger no metia mo nyinaa ɛne yɛnua ma no baya nana ba thickness ne dache hema ɛma papa bi metia mo nyinaa ma mesa wa metia bi you can say Amari power plant. And the last minute of my penny Ekufuado at the core Ashanti region. Well, yeah. Good. Amari power plant on Ekofaba, you know, at the Bebo Ghana for Chrono. Won't the be seat Mahabo. Na on my penny Ekufuado by the Nyan Semono. And Oma won't train power plant no at the quarter credit. And one LNK power supply no from Atuabo. Or so when at the Emano. And the status air supply power. And that part of Ghana and the most of Ghana. And the Amankani and Ijinaso. And yes, our power plant ana no wona na so ma be panyini ebegina ho se Kwame Nkrumah na de ben na won atam power plant no efi ho na omde kokuma se no anya sa power plant no yeah MPP aban after 8 years no won a power plant they call Ashanti region. Say one a de kwa feed that part because now omunim bebia one we drew now one to me a change transformers are here power stations bebre etwa oman no ho ahia na unim owura Mahama the first time no one yes one change electric cables be MPP aban ba no be say cables are one at the year adwuma no nyina ye fake enti sisi ana ija to ha they were compelled to change all the cables a car aban a boy at the year said adwuma no nyina na nka mobile kra ensese mobre na me gua home if we say enipa won eta NDC achiri etu aba edema won sa NDC party no won magana mine ye no mu bi yabre ye pa if we say me say MPP beba aban mu for 8 years and your papa won di begu akwa mu na won eye adwuma kwa anim na nkrofo yi di atro enkontompo pa ebeji tumi na wa ba be say bribia no a ya na eme ya pa
okay
owura Mahama what disgrace ne ho ene yenuanom sremfo ene omai Ghana bebre every say said ya olusu aba abismally na okotena achiri na enyansafo eba ye na won ebu oman no adabia me ka kire o se yesuma obenyansani na yensuma anamotenten owura yi ye dede sama Ghana fobi amma ne tumi biom ebufuo ne ade ne ba ayi Ghana fo dodo na mu se MPP aban ba yentete sika ma won na won wure fi se aban na ye niema eboa omamu ni nyina Ghana ni pedi obedie wu ne na onwene daachi sa eho no na MPP fo edwene Valentine what be say who say
1 minute
eba ne saying
1 minute
and just me pauto manu besisi ya manu beto eba ne saying na just a year and a half getting into 2 years, you know. Yet discernia from the path for say, yentua teacher for car, yentua nurse for car, teacher training, nursing training allowance, yetem, aded for aketiakem, obia wakem, edred for, and your mouth yen to me clear because bibia bore a cough through. Now so economy there are yes stable. Abai eduma for you can say ministers near there omun complaining that na yasan ko do some even though omo Ghana ni bia one city
all right
to sustain power for us no moment to me again adenti me for to man talk akre why but me just 1 second na man talk
because level ya
na omo buye sa Afrakadam yi na power no entumi nyina so ana
all right
ehina sikane ko NDC for area ya omudi nyansakro no
the right information bill eko nti eno ano hello
yeah hello boss good morning I'm Francis Nicholas Gate
Francis ombo tu jano we pie na
no one na won say that mean na hu tie na dem ti say you know Brempon Bobidin
osi we gane
yeah we dey on odika ya me sure no na and never your friend is saying once I would say yeah maybe a friend to ya na aho me chika ka say sometimes na we communicate some semblance of humility about one timodi up till now no munyin tum semodi MPP am ye bibi boni biara na Ghana for them say bibi higher sabe bia ya boba adam ntini e koto abama NDC. Such arrogance, dear. You can only get it from Susumanete or Mampanyini Omobua mine and Abetanatinamu. Such arrogance. But the man you be Biara, share Ghana for before. Ghana for Nimte. Gamudia, I do a pie, I'm kind of what Ghana for part the part. at the pending and says and arrogance at its finest. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. Anyway, they come ask them so electricity situation. As a people, as a country, our leaders are proven time and time again say, "Enyadia, or more ideas to tackle the big problems. I best solve it in some for generations to come." Yeah, can you free? Obia who free Ghana many years ago. At the end, pa back when I do it me on says so, but say now, if you are back 20, 30, 40 years, yet in our Soviet twice here. In Siana, electricity and hospitals and at the end, pa now did it was a bit messy. By your sorry and Nipano, how are you back? Wow, your leaders. Mediocrity yasako fa mahamaba meaning hawa sebe no bufaso about electricity. Inti wo brempo sabe china say ayi menkofa economic messiah amra abrakwa wa ba ye economy ne basa na bibi ha me abrakwa ya wa ba ye economy ne basa na bibi ha me it can ask you
Francis also can sama nyabutre economy ni basa bene ya wo kan.
Oh dear, one said you want me to because I wanna maba no umpe.
You state and bring your facts. Okay now also can. Francis T. Okay now also waka back with your claim. Sani ye conversation. Now cause the economy na basa now won't drive here. They say Bissau. Everybody knows. Then my economy here, Basa. No waka, no what church.
Almost mismanagement. He told us he had all the answers.
How come mismanagement? Francis T. How come mismanagement? Your friend be null and void. They are okay now. You have to state with the Francis T. Your time as who knew she can, man, how one or can. That not it. So, from a case of Francis, we can be a chairman. I have to substantiate a seminar. Who can say a same way in a Francis can only ever use you. But yes, all can be a trial. It should not be a unilateral decision. It should be. Can't put your yeah. Can't put your yeah. And nothing would not come.
Because just check your exchange rate if you want to know where your economy stands. I don't even need to go and break anything to anyone.
Francis, you don't have anything. Oh dear, I went to me and cash a flimsy Francis T. They are all kind of flimsy. Just who need be our accusation.
What's it to you?
Yes, to me, maybe so. So because of Francis, so because of Francis Barredo, so you sue uncultured words. Now me, I'm just making a inference, Mr. Say. So we Barredo, so because of Francis I mean, me you crazy so. Obi Krano Casa Ukraina. Now Francis and Casa and Bonnie, make us Francis one Casa. But we say, Obi a sell man, and no state at the Kuntia.
Okay, okay. Now,
no, president. On your president, Francis T. You are getting everything wrong. Baumia, no, president the Kufado, no Teso. So what?
Yeah. Because he wants us to highlight that he was some brilliant person. He let down.
But
look at the state of the economy.
What the Awada went to me and church. You are only making a flimsy accusation. Francis, yeah, that's it, thank you very much. You couldn't substantiate why you are making such an allegation. It's flimsy. You cannot come here and just state anything of that nature. So we ban as a Francis Beck and say we now and can. I have to state it clear, say Francis and can. Into who can be now also be a sell man and what can the amount of money say. I won't can now uncle. Yeah, Oba ain't you.
Yeah, good morning, Val.
Morning, ain't you want to pay?
Tiefo nyina titru ye nyina be ma Kwame a owo Ghana ne Fred na Kwame ye meme nyina li want to dinner facha me nebo apaye because ene ema dwumedi esi eni so na ba ya na me wo communication ti nomre no ya na meta ye communication adwuma ne mo ene fundraising ho ne ma no ti ya na dodo na ema ba ndani that hima ne ma sa na ya na meta eyi mani se ono so nye n'adwuma esa na ayese me ya agye nyina ta me ni ase mami dikness ni wo mu maka so bo na chi dom kama dache nyankopon ya adoma ye nyina ye behia wai ma ba du na ni ye ma mo ni yo eva eme nyina ya kama bom ye me nyina ya kama bom na Erade ma ye nyina ya kukuoduro said ye gina red race for over 24 years edikamfo obi ehya ase ne yeso ye beto aso enya nwanwo mamo mane nya ye nwanwa ye nya be ma obrempo mechia no obo Francis ya Mr. Eli ayidia na obaye ena ma kususu bebo ni din bro mechia we are not angry enough and what me be use with our word ni bi that was then na ya na me no wo problem no and think bro ubeka ye what say Francis mechia na we use we are not angry enough no we expect you so be you should the same way today because aproko una be encourage yes ye ntu ye ne abusuafo ofo ni entua one cedi per later
ono ne eyi say no can is for Ghana, it's not for party.
Na me kasama bulindi fo ana ba
ajo wo kasama MP
me so me for Ghana just me want MPP no me for Ghana etino said you were what said that bad distractive program because na dey will put on to me Kagalamsi asem on to me National Cathedral asem biem ni na want to me na me nya be ma Kofi Francis ka asem bi I want na me dey me submission pa
no say dey go ba ntokwa na obekun yo nti utie na
but ne ntokwa na dey me support so no abekun ntokwa
ka chen say ya onto no bo o na e onua be
me ya me ni nya me mamo kasa nti wo kai wo tie na dey me ka kakra fa ho ne say okase NDC tire Asante regional odika ni titru ne say she said papa Kofuor de health insurance ba ye no ye ni the whole Ghana na John Mahama Atamas ba ye wo be ka kire ye say 110 premium no the capitation koto Asante for so enya what time say na ya the papa then na regions na dey be alcohol enya Atamas na ka kire ye say the Great Ashanti region project is telefy me which is Sofola interchange enya Atamas na kai and then John Mahama ne kojira wodi yan Asante for nyina atam 9 regions no what be do obi atamoda Papa Kofuor ilo joint project ba ye Papa Kofuor japade ye hospitals what the big Ghana fa na nyina ba ko pa ekwa Asante region and this France ole nyina so mo mpre e ma ne kwa Asante region anko court aferi hospital anko court
wana oni na enyan
me can't let be a minute will be a nya me can't let be a me can't wo mo ya
enti na then e say mo Asante for mo ye when you know
say me can ya ko Tanzania ko ji enti me can't say and no so tina me say ka twa bonkum twa ni fa anya Asante for nko ana to aba na no so tina ya Asante for wo mo tan ye no ye ni kwase e tina ho ma John Mahama and the NDC for a bet snassi. Asante Regi and Yashi. Asante Regi and Yashi. Now we are badging ba. Who could the NDC to Kotuaba? Yes, ya before your box site. I could see interchanges. I want knife. Any slave, yes, be a Maya. That doesn't mean say I never am my Asante, ma'am. Maybe sick a trouble come Chinese fa. School feeding, free education, acquiring, and never universities here in Asante Memu. It is the NDC for choir research. No more MPP for our numbers. Now MPP, your money Any Asante region now what's nothing. Not to be my NDC. Any John Mahamo can say, yet they are particular region now and more. A cocoa such like one man. Now with the NDC to Kotuaba. Why would they? Because NDC buy and can you answer the Kofi Francis say king? Will be a 2 days, Asante Mamma 5 days. That is the Ẹ̀sùsùn ni yẹ́yẹ́ yìí mú ebi na nánú màmí má ta àbáso ẹnu àlẹ́yìn no tàchí màkúmà pa màkúmà ṣe màmá mo bravo wúwíẹ́ náà adé ànkwanoma tó sùọ́ màmí bọ́ wà àbáso ànkwanoma ni deɛ ẹnka special prosecutor yẹ asẹ̀ no ẹnso yàgye yẹ adìẹ nánú mi kàn sẹ́ papa Kwame Nkrumah dẹ́bíà màmí má ta sí. Aka Asantefoɔ ne Achemfoɔ mpɛnzemafo asɛm ɛnso papa Kwame Nkrumah ne university esi Asante mam yɛnka asie nkyɛn ne di no ɛnso yɛwɔ atitiri wahemfo bebree anka ebɛtumi de wɔn di na ato soɔ ɛnso yɛnka papa Kofoɔ na yɛ interchanges asokwadeɛ yɛ na anɔ papa yɛ ɔkasa te sɛ Mahama Yiri a yɛ sɛ ɔyɛ Asante regional minister wɔn no etimi kompenti ye de papa jeje ne dwom ama picture to ho papa Kofoɔ no a wo no si ne interchange wo yi ne different enyo time
yate
etu wo muta ye pa ne ti Asantefoɔ Achemfoɔ ene mo amuka ye ho no ye ni dra ho na drama ne fuo na me quickly say electricity no why na say John Mahama betimi aye ada munim say ye set na take or pay. No one syndrome, take a pay syndrome. What will perquire?
Yeah, that's it. Hello.
Hello.
I'm not telling you, uncle.
Hey, genes are powerful. But cognitive thinking. Yeah, Shamasi. Time no quinty, Padel Macamasa. And then be seen. Then you can chase sooner come rather. Ashama, we do. Now, my kind to the Benjamin of Finaro Common Cassa as you do. Now, some I can you there were antimate a bit to me. A bit to me then, baby. And checking.
Okay, tell me there.
I had DN test.
Minim de gawonum keke.
Minim de awo conspire DN test. Me panyo.
Gawonum de o mi baby mi mleso amata obo.
Me kai no fuma.
Na amafu no crowd was him amata de mem badu bio. De bia wa chatty. Say wa swati.
Yeah, metida. Opana wanyim baby asunsun kwankwan wo no. Na wa kan da mamom baby o. The man when you want to soon, I say, one thing and component pon I say. Now, Mr. Mumaja woman, our principal. Mamma Cara pay, I can't as I want to matter between Miss Selwyn. I find if you're Selwyn and the Wabash and Malcolm Mamma. Yeah, what's up for Pia? When you be just some concern work, that may just as no buff say guarantees. What's the name? Mr. Kwame Nkrumah has come back again. Only NDC President Mahama. He has come back again to continue Kwame Nkrumah's job. If not, Ghana will be in darkness forever.
But they are in darkness. Yeah, you watch for darkness. Also, see that.
Yes, now we can.
Only my president no solve a problem. My president no solve a problem because Kofi won't.
I do want to light back again on Mahama. Now, so one penny bill. The abaya, Miss me. O papa, zina, I get all that wooden, saying you might make sure.
Okay.
I win him, baby, there be a Cape Kosofa because a Cape Koso, one prophet is 3 in our be winning our way and smell line.
Okay, Yati.
Into our crampo, Yabaka DN test, Miss Mumojo. I can't permission ya chili can dance in the wild antimatter, a bit to them, baby, a baby. Ashama.
Oye, that's papa. Ain't you? One else we. Hello. Nini, let's hear you. No feno yano, eh. No feno yano.
Okay, Val. You see, I listened to Kwam Pekam today, yeah?
Yeah.
And his submission is exactly in line with the MPP communicated, the gendarmes. You see, he's taking. I think he wants a position in the MPP now.
I don't think so. He's weeping. He said, "You guys have, you are doing something which is not helping the country because he said you want to take the country back. That's his problem. He sees that we want to move forward, but you are taking us back like an animal farm kingdom, and that's what his problem is all about.
I bet you, Eval.
Because yesterday I told you about this Doomsaw thing. I told you it's money, but you are telling me it's not money. So what is the problem?
Valentine, the people, I mean, the company in charge says it is not about oil or gas. It is the transformers that are weak. Look, the country has expanded. The country has become bigger and bigger and bigger.
But they are saying that when the transformers have their vicinities where they have been placed and mounted. So if in case in Hackney, if there's a transformer that had defaulted and they want to repair it or change it, it shouldn't affect the whole country. That's their problem.
But have you forgotten that? Have you forgotten that Akosomo was banned?
No, but they've said before that problem existed before the Akosomo issue came. So what was the issue?
Yeah, before that Akosomo got banned, it was a transformer issue.
No, but by that time the transformer was not bent. So what was the core counterance principle of you saying?
You see this electric, this on and off problem. We don't want to discuss it again. Those who want to take it, take it. Okay. If you don't want to take it, it's their own cup of tea. You see, and like I was saying, Kwam Pekam is following one direction. Since JB Dankwa until today, they are lying. He's following it now. I see it today, yeah? I see it today. And you see, one time, we are going to deploy 16,000 nurses. 8,000 has been, they're giving the go ahead.
Okay.
The financial clearance is there for them to go to, deploy them. Okay. Actually, we're going to add more.
Okay.
But 16,000 is for this year. We're going to deploy all of them. You see, MPP took these people, employed these people, deployed these people without any financial clearance. And all this load became a load for us. You see? So this is the difference, Valentine. This is the difference.
Okay.
You see? Look, the cocoa, the gold balls. You see the profit we made, 600 million profit.
So when you made a profit, when you made a profit, then you don't pay people. So what is the relevance?
That is the reason why we're going to deploy 8,000. We've already deployed 7,000 teachers.
All right.
This is the reason why, because we look at our budget, because we are a transparent government, accountability government, and scale of preference government.
Okay.
You see, we don't hide nothing from nobody.
Okay.
Valentine, we don't hide nothing from nobody.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Valentine, let me end up. And tell Kobe Francis that we are still waiting to see where he has stored his 400 bags of maize because the buyers are ready to buy. Yeah, tell him. We want to know. Otherwise, he's a liar.
Okay. Hello.
Hello, good morning, Van. Patrick name.
Patrick, ain't you? Yeah, uncle.
There are 2 lights, 3 more lights, eh? And you could 4 and the construction as quite a scene. Or cut it salt. And a must need we be a event and Mahama baby. Second, NHS. Rollins and the buyer. Only Hansard 1992.
I don't know. Cash and carry.
And then Hansard 1997.
Patrick, but what is the problem? What is the problem you're having when you are talking about policies and interventions? NDC have their policies.
Yeah,
I remember Rollins time we had cash and carry. So why do you have disposition what you are saying?
No.
What you are saying is alien to me.
Thank
I
you,
don't
brother,
get it.
for updating me.
No.
For exercising my
NHIS,
brain.
no,
I'm
listen,
going to-
Patrick, don't debate with this. This is everybody knows that Kufuor's era we had NHIS. So for that one, it's clear.
Listen, my Pacho, stop there. You are making a great mistake.
You are in government.
I'll send you the video from
No,
Ansar.
listen.
I'll send you the video from Ansar.
So why then do we have
Patrick,
listen.
And go there and see
Patrick, listen. So why then do we Patrick,
I'll leave that matter.
Diabetes.
And who Ashanti region.
But why then that time do we have cash and carry?
The electricity.
Munya fair to my argument.
It cost 70%. May catch by the end of the week, I be 90 to 100%. Maybe I'm one for the past 3 days.
Okay.
Quadrate this shit starting from Mampong to Swami, part of Kidity.
Okay,
so be regional. There's a difficulties in both infrastructure and finance. It's accepted.
Okay.
The whole thing is being resolved. It's being resolved.
Okay.
Omuza se tabeni dunka tabeni soye. Periodic, period in the same hour. See, do 12 hours in Ra, and now 6 hours. The following day, I call 4 hours. By the time we are catching up, everything is being institutionalized.
All right.
And I make it today. Swami interchange. Mobile, your hospital, Mujay. And this has got nothing to say. It's the only government. Waba. I do 4 generation, 4 Republic here. What didn't put to about? To a kiddy market, to a supermarket near AC.
Okay.
To a pro market, as such. As one say.
Patrick, don't. Patrick, don't harass me with a kind of nuisance way to deal with the issue. The point is that don't misinform people. When you come, you are in government. Tell people what you are about to do. Don't fight with the NPP because they will never understand your principles. Because when you're in a position, Patrick, you said you are not an NDC member.
No, I never said.
Listen. Patrick, listen.
This is Obaya.
Patrick, listen. But it's not. I've not mentioned Obaya. I'm speaking to you. I'm speaking to you as a brother. I said you said you are not an NDC member. So now you are an NDC member. I agree. First, you. Okay, I hear you.
Public is saying.
Okay.
Don't follow Obaya.
I hear you. Thank you very much. Jeffrey, ain't you 2 minutes here? Last call.
Yo, me that's it. That's it. When you force it, what's the cost of amount to man? TND. Nini say, almost before necessary 16,000.
Yeah.
Now, me besides say, or Chino Barbo besides say, almost more honor to your maid, or Chiomoka.
I know so. Another.
Maybe no problem. I say, so Chiomoka. Now, Patrick is also there. I'm said the Bregana or no quantity home. Because Oba was saying, you like to be here. But all over Ghana, Obia soon. Can now hear Mamia, you coastal. And the fish. Cutting. I say, where you go about it. One will be. Social media.
No, I mean, I know. Yes, and 1 to 2 now 1 ton.
So you only ask because you need my debate.
Okay, and check because obey mamma.
Because also, I'm turn the fresh, no.
Because normally, and I'm not to go waste not at that time, no. Oh, yeah, and Uncle Waho, now to market to men.
Say, if you say, like, remember, so I feel you over so never thrown. Aha, you were so one, and then the man said, but take it back. Over catch say, and then you know, right, yeah, and then I'm so organ homes or position.
Patrick, Patrick assembly, oh no. Oba crowd to me said, team.
Mintina said that.
I tell catch and say, on your NDC, I feel say, yes, I until we see you, Matty.
But you would not Casacasi, Nini Bar. Was it necessary to teach upon a more? What you can almost have for 16,000.
Or Chabedin Como.
That's it.
Last call into you.
Fanny Michel February.
Yeah, the one I say.
A Japoni.
And now,
Me wo hopa ya na metie obere bia.
Sisia ensema ekosui, sisia o light mu ye ne den.
De wo mu ni se enkanea no de. Enya de a adundum ho se de menua na pokaye no. O se dum esiesie. Enti eyade a yeguso a yesiesie. Na megidi se biribia ye okay ewo Ghana ha ye we. Na ye ka se teacher fo ne a nurse fo ye ntua omoka. Eno no enye nokre. Di ntia enye nokre ni se. Areas a ewo ho no. Eno na ye nurse fo ne ye mmofra no esre se aban no ntumi ntua ni nyina emfa mom na mom omo adwuma omo eye bosumi bia so a omo eje akatua eno nso so me say meka se enye efise onipa ye adwuma esese yetua neka enti NDC aban ye modern se ye behwe se ye betumi ayi areas bia ewo ho efise sika wo ho enti ye nyimfiri ho na emofra no so eho entom afi nso so na binum ka se NDC aban tan asantefo moma ye hu se ye nyina ye Ghana fo NDC aban
enye na mo tan omo sa na tie because that is the perception
na me kire mu no
quickly
NDC aban entan asantefo na mom NDC aban ye Ghana fo nyina aban enti ade a efata asantefo no NDC aban eye edema asanteman ebi ne enema bebri a yehui a ewo Asante region ohwa empuntu ewo Asante region most no eye ade a NDC aban ena eyema Asante region enti yebesere se abatu oduru so a asantefo nyina nkoto aba emfama NDC government eno na ye government a ebetumi apagya Ghana akọ ama Ghana adiye me da asibebre
Japan so dia nti ha na edum besi na enche na sofa champion enso di nyam sembe bre ya no pay nti e be mai muso
yi wo Yesu di mo ye na onyame ase wa hwe ye so wa boye ho ban e sori ye nti asemboni bia enkwa ewe mu hallelujah nti ya badana se e mompae onyame a obo soro onyame a obo asase onyame a obo abode nyina wo doba Jesus Christ di mu ena ye ba wanim erade ya de aseda ena eba eveda wasio ahwe yeso yada wasio aboye ho ban yada wasio ayi afri owom ayi afri adem ayi afri amanehunu Father